Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Hype Queen podcast. You are with your host, Megan. As always, I hope you are so well. I'm going to preface the top of this episode by apologizing in advance if you're watching this on YouTube. I've just been sitting out in the sun for the last 4 hours and I look like a tomato. But if you live in Adelaide, you will absolutely know why I have done that. We've had our first sight of nice weather in the longest time. So you best believe I'm taking full advantage of it. And also I have pets everywhere. And you know what? If you waited for pristine conditions in which to do anything in life, I feel like this is a great metaphor. Like if I waited for pristine conditions to record the podcast and wait till everything was perfect, I never would have released a single bloody episode. So do it messy, do it whatever, and bloody just do it. So today I am talking about the benefits of working with a mindset coach and mentor. Now, if you have heard my personal development journey, you will know that I screamed from the friggin' rooftops about how my life has changed for the better. And also was basically the reason that I became a coach and mentor myself was after I worked with my first coach. So I've had a couple since that very first time, and I continue to, I guess, expand. I continue to evolve. I continue to change as a human. I continue to release old patterns. I continue to do all of the things in which I need to do in order to create the life that I am desiring. So I've done a lot more recently, and I think this is why this topic is probably front of mind for me. So we've worked through various aspects of my life, and like I said, to say a complete life shift is probably a little bit of an understatement, I suppose. And I've had obviously huge shifts in my life as it is anyway. I quit my job. I left all the security and the whatnots of the corporate world behind, and that stereotypical corporate gal, to being a fully self-employed business owner in my business. So I had completely lost elements of myself from those two, or from my previous versions, I suppose. And this was a good and a bad thing, because basically I lost all of the parts that I thought I didn't like about myself and about my work ethic and about, working long days and working hard and doing all of the things, because I was so burnt out and overwhelmed and I didn't want to do or feel that anymore, to working in my own business, being like, no, I want to work the days and hours that I want to work, and I want to work the times that, so it hadn't translated straight across. So I've done a lot of work around kind of digging into that and seeing, why that is, and how to resolve and work sort of through that. And the amount of work that I've done, self-doubt and limiting beliefs can still creep in, and which is shit. And you've probably heard all this, the saying that another level, another devil. And I have found that to be so freaking true. And especially the more I dig and uncover, I suppose. And like when I was writing the notes for this episode, the first thing that came to my head was like when Shrek, he says that ogres are like onions. And I feel like we as people, we're like onions. We have lots of different layers. So working with a mindset coach and mentor isn't just for individuals facing difficulties either. It literally can be for anybody who wants to unlock their full potential and just take their life to the next level. So I thought I would do a bit of a deep dive into, I guess, the particular benefits, and in no order, of what I have found working with a mindset coach and mentor. So number one is clarity and goal setting. So obviously, clarity and goal setting is critical if you want to achieve anything in life, right? So clarity, obviously, we all understand why clarity is important, but not understanding why you want that particular goal and what it is that it is going to do for you is a really easy way to get off track. But also, you almost just feel lost and confused, like you're working so hard and towards what. So a coach can help you gain that clarity, and particularly around your values and your aspirations as well. Because often I have found when doing, trying to elicit my values, and I've done this over the years as well, they tend to change. And, so your top values can be like family and, friends and money and career and, all of the different values. So but at different points in your life, it's going to shift. So it's really great to kind of elicit those, get those out. And then what I have found with coaches in particular, good coaches, is that they'll guide you into setting meaningful and achievable goals as well. So again, if you ever worked with me before, one-on-one, or ever had a conversation, I do not like achievable in itself. I like to dream as big as I possibly can, go as hard as I possibly can, go as fast as I possibly can, and do all of the things that you're kind of told that you can't do. So what I find is that when I've got a clear vision of where I want to go, the action steps necessary in order to get there are like so much more simple. So, and that's one of the first thing that I will kind of work through with new one-on-one clients in my business, is we kind of just look at the values, your values, and what are you actually trying to achieve. So for example, if you were to work with me and you say that your highest value is family, but all of your actions around everything that you're doing is around your career and making money and doing all of these things. So obviously those two are incredibly out of alignment. And I'm not saying you can't have both and have it all. You absolutely can, but you need to really understand what particularly your top 3 values are, so that you can take action towards making sure that your goals align with them as well and not conflicting with each other. So that's number 1, clarity and goal setting. So number 2 is overcoming limiting beliefs. Now, I again will scream limiting beliefs from the fucking rooftops for this reason, that once I cleared and continue to clear my limiting beliefs, you just do not understand the weight that comes off of your shoulders. And particularly because we don't consciously really know what they are. I mean, they might come to the forefront of our mind, but there's also so much deeper that goes back as to why those limiting beliefs are even there, right? So overcoming those has just been the biggest game changer in my whole fucking life. So we have beliefs that hold us back, obviously. And what a great, particularly around NLP, if you do timeline therapy, a mindset coach can really help you identify these limiting beliefs and not only resolve them, but also, replace them with empowering ones. And like the transformation that this can have is just profound, like especially for your confidence and your self-esteem as well. Like you would just feel like a different person. So again, I cannot scream that loud enough from the rooftops, because it's all very good to have tangible goals that you want to work towards, right? So you're looking to, achieve this in your life, and then you're going to take, I guess, tangible steps or action steps towards creating that. But in the background, if you've got this subconscious programming of I can't do that, I'm not good enough to do that, who am I to want these things and whatnot, you're going to have a really hard time and you're going to feel completely in conflict with yourself all the time if you don't resolve those unconscious limiting beliefs. So again, limiting beliefs, in case you missed that one, was my second benefit of working with a mindset coach and mentor. Now, number 3 is accountability and motivation. So I think no matter who you are, you have a different relationship with the word motivation. And my take on motivation, my 2 cents worth, is that I like motivation to get you going, right? It's the buying a new workout program. It's the stocking your fridge with healthy food on a Sunday night. It's the meal prep. It's the looking, all of these things, right? You know how you start with motivation. So where accountability and motivation, I've grouped them together, is because obviously motivation is going to get you going, right? You're going to start with motivation. You're going to be like, fuck yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do all of these things. But if you don't have somebody there walking alongside you, it's really, really easy to fall off the bandwagon, so to speak, right? So if you've got somebody there who's holding you accountable, and not just holding you accountable in like the very masculine sense of like, are you serious? Did you do that? Like, that's not how we do things here. Accountability in more so in checking in and saying, how are you going with this thing that you mentioned? Are you having any problems? Like, what does that kind of look like for you? And that is what a good coach will be able to even recognize in yourself before you recognize it. And I know with my clients in particular, I know if my Voxer chat is very, very quiet with a particular, in a particular container, I know that there's something going on. Either the goals have gone off track, or they're beating themselves up about something, and this is what I like to bring out in my clients as well. And just the whole thing is really creating a safe space for your clients to be able to come to you, work through their problems, and more often than not, they've already got the solution in their head, right? What a good coach is going to allow you to do is have that space held for you so you can process that, and we can give you tips, and we can give you, all of the things, obviously, and, the encouragement and the mindset hacks and things like that, and help you understand on a deeper level, kind of like what you can do to overcome these things moving forward. So accountability and motivation, I find, go well together when you talk about, coaching retainers. So I think this is one of the, significant advantages of having a mentor that will typically you'll be able to have contact with daily. So all of my one-on-ones, we touch base every single day. And if you are one of my one-on-ones currently, or you have been previously, you'll get a morning affirmation from me, as well as a journal prompt as well, just to kind of get you thinking for the day about what your intentions are. What does the day sort of like lay ahead in your mind? So not only obviously being able to keep on track, but we will be able to provide the motivation and encouragement that you need, particularly during challenging times. So you sign up with a new coach, you sign up a new program, you do something new, right? Motivation, as I said, will kickstart you at the beginning, but then it is how do you navigate that from the first hurdle that you walk towards, and you're like, shit, okay, I don't know how to navigate this. This is brand new to me. And that's where your old programming will try and take over, because you've made it very, very, very uncomfortable by doing the new thing, right? So what we need to do is, hold our clients' hands and really walk alongside them until they kind of get that momentum, and they're on the right track in terms of like when they trip or they fall, they will recognize it immediately, and they've got the strategies and skills they have learned in working together that they can overcome it themselves, or they've got, again, a safe space that they can come to and say, look, I'm, dealing with this. How would you best work through it all? So really, really important one, I think, is, number 3, accountability and motivation. Now, number 4 is personal growth and development. Okay, so obviously this is incredibly obvious again, but what I find is when I work with a coach one-on-one or a mentor one-on-one, they will provide you with the tools and the strategies and the resources to continually improve, right? And it doesn't matter which area this is in, but you almost are collapsing time, and it's almost like a growth accelerator, because you've got somebody next to you giving you all of their wisdom, all of their knowledge, all of their, skills that they have utilized in their life and embody in their day-to-day to get to where they are. Because why else would you look to, work with a coach if you don't look up to them? That they can then impart onto you. So you don't have to learn the skills. I mean, I ended up doing it because I was so obsessed with my transformation. I was like, everyone needs to feel this way. This is just the best thing ever. But yeah, so not only that, obviously, again, you're going to be able to skip, well, not all of the trial and error, because you still need to work through it. But, really remove a lot of that barrier in terms of like, okay, cool, I've done this, now what? And like this continuous loop of like, I'm trying, I've fallen, I failed, spiral down. You're like, nah, this isn't going to change my life today. We're going to spiral back up, hit where we were. And you want to talk about, or like the way that I like to envisage this is around sort of like a glass ceiling, is that you'll hit, this glass ceiling of, your personal development, or even actually is representative in every aspect of your life, whether it's your, your diet and your exercise, or your financial situation, or your career, or your whatever that is. You'll find these glass, ceilings start to happen. And something that I work through with my coach in particular, and she sort of, imparted this metaphor onto me. It just resonated so hard with me, because it was like, okay, cool, I hit these glass ceilings. And even as a coach myself, it's really hard to take that step back in that bird's eye view when you've got somebody out looking in who knows you really, really well. They can point things out to you like in a snap. And it is just the ability to, one, obviously recognize it in yourself, but 2, have somebody to, be there to hold your hand if you don't, but provide that, outsider perspective, not outsider, but, that sort of alternative perspective to perhaps what you are thinking, especially in a moment of overwhelm, or you're spiraling or whatever. So number 4 benefit is personal growth and development. Number 5 is an interesting concept to me, because when I was putting these notes together, I thought, shit, the people that I have met through my mentor, Katie, at the moment is actually been completely invaluable. So obviously I'm working alongside people in my industry, which is so much fun, and we learn off each other. But also I've found that working with Katie in particular, I've done a couple of her group programs, and I'm also part of one of the masterminds that she is running. And to say that group is expanding is, again, a fucking understatement, because we have a weekly call where we all catch up. We've got a Voxer chat that we're all in every single day. And being in the same industry as each other for the most part is just like, okay, I'm doing this, and how are you doing this, and I'm doing this. And it really just makes you think and question why you're doing things the way you are. So that has helped me exponentially, as well as having, a group of like almost like a girl squad where you can go in and you're having, and it doesn't have to be business related. It's really around, you're having a shit day, you're, struggling with this or you're struggling with that, and having, a group that will be there basically to hype you up. And be able to kind of like offer you strategies from different perspectives and point of views. And it's also another, a great learning tool in terms of like, as the business part of it as well. So group programs, you meet like-minded people as well. So particularly with group programs that you do, there's like a Facebook group or a Voxer group. And I was one of those ones that would sign up to a group program if I can never touch it and never, engage in any of the groups, because it was like, I'm too busy. But you really will get out what you put in with this personal development work. So if you're in there, asking questions, or you're there supporting others, or you're there, showing up and being present, the return is just like a billionfold. So expanding your network is another benefit, obviously, of working with a coach. Number 6, my final benefit of working with a mindset coach and mentor, is you're able to have an approach that's tailored exactly to you. Right. So you sign up to, as I said before, a course, which is it is a little bit more one size fits all. They're still valuable. Do not get me wrong. You can pull some insane wisdom out of them. You can, again, meet groups of people, you can do all of those things, but obviously it's not unique to your exact circumstance or exactly what you're, going through at the moment. So obviously a mindset coach and mentor can customize our guidance to your specific needs and circumstances. And it's a way of sort of like navigating your unique challenges, and finding solutions that work best for you. And again, that's around having that relationship that's built, insanely on trust, honestly, to begin with, because obviously you're like, holy shit, you're about to, divulge all your personal information to somebody that you may have only had a couple of chats with. But they're able to, again, once you work together long term, and this is why I really, 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 really recommend, long-term mentoring, because you can, even over Zoom calls, even over a WhatsApp call, like it doesn't actually matter. You interacting with that person daily. And again, if they're a good coach, they'll be able to pick up on little nuances in you, be able to recognize signs in you, and best be able to support you moving forward, as opposed to, just doing a mindset course, which you're like, you know what, this is going to change my whole fucking life. And it very may well, but also then you've done the course, then what? It's tricky to kind of, and I guess that's working one off with a coach as well. You've done that all, you're flying high because you're, learning all these new things, and you've cleared all these limiting beliefs, and you've done all of, this work, and it's like, okay, cool, now what? Right. So having that long-term mentorship is absolutely critical, and something that I definitely am investing in for that exact reason. So they are my benefits of working with a mindset coach and mentor. So now that I have explored these a little bit deeper, I kind of wanted to give you guys some tips on how to find the right mindset coach or mentor for you. So I find, and I don't want to say that the market is saturated, that's absolutely not true. People's different messages resonate with different people, obviously, all the time. So depending on what you're looking to achieve is, obviously who you're going to look for in a coach or a mentor. So, for example, if you're looking for somebody to help you on your health and fitness journey, you would look to somebody who had the mindset around health and fitness, or was maybe a PT in their past lives. You wouldn't be going to somebody who's like someone like me, I suppose, that, we really focus on mindset and doing all the things. Now, in saying that, removing limiting beliefs around all areas of life is something that, mindset coaches and again, anyone in particular who has done training around NLP, shadow work and things like that, they will be able to help you. But if you're looking to, on the particular exercises to build a six-pack, I ain't your gal. So it's really around making sure that they align with you. And this is the beauty of social media, is that we can watch stories, we can watch reels, we can look at their content, we can do all of these things where you will, will they resonate? That will either resonate or it won't. So obviously, I'll use myself as an example. I obviously swear a lot. I am brutally honest. I am honestly your best friend in the whole wide world, but I am very, very honest. It's really critical to me that, my clients get the most out of my time, our time together. So if I sort of can see that you're trying really, really hard and you're doing all the things, then great, I'm going to be there to, scream your name from the side on the sidelines while you're running along. I'll be there for you. But yeah, if you need to kick out the ass, I'll also give that to you. So my advice on how to find the best mindset coach or mentor for you, and again, I'm limiting to mindset coach and mentor because that's obviously my space, is define your goals. So as I said, be clear about what you want to achieve through coaching or mentoring. Because if and we can get coached on anything, right? I can learn fucking Spanish if I wanted to. I'd find a coach for that. So maybe that was a better example than I used previously. Whatever, you get the gist. Work out what it is that you're trying to achieve. And if it's not a specific goal, but it's a specific feeling, or you're just feeling fucked and don't know where to turn to next, that's also still a good goal, right? I just don't want to feel shit anymore. Who can I work with to not help, make me feel so shit? And research. So obviously look for coaches and mentors who specialize in the areas you're interested in. So again, I'm going to use the Spanish example because that was fucking heaps better. If you want to learn how to get a six-pack, you're probably likely to go to a fitness mentor as opposed to someone that can teach you Spanish. So that was a much better example. And I recommend, well, actually, I won't say a lot. I'm going to generalize here. But some coaches obviously do offer consultations or meetings beforehand, or, some people call them discovery calls or whatever that is. And I do this myself purely for the fact that if you don't, you don't trust me, or you kind of don't, maybe don't like my approach when we're talking, or you don't kind of feel that warmth, that's absolutely okay. But at least we know that sort of going in. So there's so much you can get about me personally from my content and the things that I say, particularly because I am I'm an open book when it comes to my life. I don't, tend to sugarcoat anything that's going on. If I'm going through and moving through stuff, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh no, you have to be perfect. Like, oh shit, like what if we don't? Well, no, that's just not how I roll. We all are human, or we all have life struggles. We all have to move through things. And I think that makes me a better coach, that I'm actually the person that is just like, you know what, I feel fucked today. Mercury's in retrograde and, 27 other planets are at the minute. So, let's have a conversation. Let's just talk about it. So, if you can kind of catch up with them, if they do offer that, I do recommend that as well. And the next piece of advice I would give to you is commitment. Commitment. So as I said before, you only get out what you put into things like this. Like you can hire the, $1 million an hour coach to coach you in whatever, $1 million an hour mentor to mentor you in whatever. And you don't, go full out with that person. You are not going to walk away thinking like, that's the best money I've ever spent. And this is why things like free courses and whatnot are not as potent as, like paid containers, I suppose, because you've got skin in the game. You have given up your fucking hard-earned money to work one-on-one with someone. So it's up to you to, best get everything that you fucking need to out of that time with that person as well. And you're investing not in your money, but you're investing in yourself. So they do require time and they do require effort on your part. Right. So you're going to get tasked with things to do. Well, you should get tasked with things to do. You're going to, be asked a lot of hard questions, and you're going to go through some fucking hard shit as well. So this stuff is not just like, oh, I've cleared all the limiting beliefs out of my mind. I am a happy little Vegemite. Life is dandy, right? You might feel that way after you've done the first round, but this work, it never stops. And that you can take that one of two ways. Is like, okay, cool, I'm going to continue to learn about myself and I'm going to continue to develop myself, and let's see who we can end up in, another couple of months' time. Or you can think like, you know what, fuck this, man, this is way too exhausting. I've had enough. And you'll go through both. So commitment, you really need to commit to coaching containers. So to wrap this all up, working with a mindset coach and mentor can be such a transformative experience. And again, I have learned this firsthand in not only the transformations that I have achieved with my clients, but also what I have been able to do personally with my coaches and mentors. So, it can really help you break free from limitations, achieve your goals, and just lead a more, I guess, fulfilling life, because you're really aligned with your values and you're working towards, something that really aligns with you as a person and something that you actually want. And something to remember, I guess, is personal growth is a journey. And having the right guide can really make all the difference. So I'm in the world of analogies today, it would appear, but imagine climbing Mount Everest and someone's just like, oh, okay, there's the top of it, fucking go your hardest. You're going to have a pretty shit time, I think. Whereas if you have a guide, or in my case, fucking, I don't know, someone to carry me up there, you're going to obviously make it, but also have the support along the way that if you get lost or you trip over or, you whatever, that you can be picked up, pick yourself up, have the ability to keep going as well. So it's a journey, but it is a fun one. It's hard. And I've had several meltdowns in the last couple of months because of the shit that I've been uncovering. But now it's, I'm happily holding up a mirror to myself to be like, okay, cool. What else? What the hell else do I not know about myself? And to celebrate that, I have completely refreshed, rebranded, and I guess updated all of my one-on-one offers. So I've completely changed the way I do things, and my desire is obviously to have the most, meaningful impact as possible, help as many people as I possibly can. So I have diversified my offers quite significantly. So you can now work with me from anywhere up to an hour. I have done a quick, what I've called their mindset makeover hour, where we can just get to work with each other on a specific goal. Anything from a 4-week to a 6-week. I've also now done 6-month and 12-month programs. So again, that long-term coaching of working together, in a really, deep dive into exactly, what the hell we're trying to navigate in your life as well. And previously, and probably most excitingly, I had not offered mentorship packages as such. So we would kind of work together, and then we would sort of work, understand like what are the future goals, what does that kind of look like. So I have now got a mentorship package that you can purchase. And we can work together on a monthly. You can do it month by month. You can renew a monthly, whatever that kind of looks like for you. You get complete access to me via Voxer. We do a call once a month. And again, we can work through goals. We can do whatever we need. I can support you in every single way possible, and just really be like that bestie in your pocket that you're just like, okay, cool. Like, I'm navigating this. What would you recommend? I'm navigating this. What would you recommend? So programs are obviously awesome because you have, set, you should, depending on who you're working with, set outcomes of what the 6-week or 8-week container kind of looks like, which is awesome. And it is so powerful. But yeah, I'm really leaning into long-term mentorship with clients at the moment, because I just find it's so much easier to be able to help and support and to be there for everybody. So as a exclusive to my podcast listeners, I'm offering you guys 50% off every single package. All right. So if you head to megancoleman.com.au, the discount code is Hype Queens. This will all be in your show notes, so don't worry. You can go through and check out the different ways that we can work together. And you just enter the discount code at checkout and come all the way through, and then you will be prompted to book your calls in, and then basically away we go. Since I suggested to work, a good way to find a mentor or a coach that's going to work well for you is that one-on-one discovery call, I still offer that for that reason. So if you wanted to just jump on a call, we can have a chat about what you're looking to, get out of either, programs or through one-on-one coaching mentorships, and then we can design something for you. So I'm really excited. It really has, I've undergone a bunch of different modality trainings, which I've, injected into all of these new offerings. As I said, it really is just about, coming up with different solutions in ways of thinking, and particularly implementing all of the changes and all of the new strategies that I have myself from the people that I work with, whether it be in the mastermind or, my one-on-one coaching. So I am bringing a refreshed offering to my clients. And again, it's really making that as much of a meaningful impact as I possibly can, and helping as many people as I possibly can as well who come into my world. So as I said, all the details will be in the show notes. And until next time, you guys, keep striving for yourself. And remember, this is also, you'll see this on the website. I'm fucking obsessed with this. Your potential is limitless. And that's something you need to remember, because it absolutely has. All right. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next episode.